Did you know that giraffes only need 30 minutes of sleep per day? Or that their powerful kick can kill a lion? These towering giants of the African savanna are full of surprises. But beyond their long necks and spotted coats lies a story of evolution, survival, and mystery. What makes the giraffe one of nature's most extraordinary creatures? Stick around as we uncover the untold biography of the world's tallest animal. Giraffes are among the most fascinating animals on Earth, standing as high as 18 feet and weighing over 2,500 pounds. Native to Africa, they roam the vast savannas and woodlands, gracefully towering over other wildlife. But how did they evolve to have such long necks? Scientists believe it was a combination of survival and competition, reaching high into the trees for food and battling for dominance. Beyond their height, giraffes have unique characteristics. Their hearts are 2 feet long and powerful enough to pump blood all the way up to their heads. Their long tongues, up to 20 inches, help them grab leaves from thorny trees. And despite their calm nature, giraffes are not defenseless. With a single, well-aimed kick, they can take down a predator. However, these gentle giants face growing threats. Habitat loss, poaching, and climate change are endangering their population. Conservation efforts are crucial to protecting them for future generations. In this video, we'll explore the complete story of giraffes, from their early life and development, its habitat and distribution, physical characteristics and adaptation, diet and hunting, social structure and behavior, its reproduction and cub, challenges and conservation, symbolism and cultural significance, fun and lesser-known facts, ancient ancestors to their modern struggles. Get ready to discover the incredible life of giraffes like never before. If this is your first time on our channel, welcome. All we do every day is to bring you an amazing wildlife documentary, animal science and discovery-packed educational content about different animals in the world. If this is something you are interested in, like this video, subscribe to this channel and turn on bell notification to get instant notification whenever we drop a new video. Now let's dive into the early life and development of giraffe. Giraffes, the tallest land mammals on Earth, have a fascinating early life and development process that begins with their birth and continues through various growth stages as they learn survival skills. These gentle giants, native to the African savannas, undergo significant changes as they mature, adapting to their environment and acquiring the necessary skills to thrive in the wild. Giraffes are mammals, which means they give birth to live young rather than laying eggs. A mother giraffe, known as a cow, carries her baby, or calf, for approximately 15 months before giving birth. This long gestation period allows the calf to develop fully within the womb, ensuring it is strong enough to stand and move shortly after birth. When a giraffe is born, the process is both dramatic and crucial for its survival. Unlike many animals that give birth lying down, female giraffes remain standing, meaning the newborn falls about 6 feet to the ground. While this may seem harsh, the impact helps stimulate the calf's breathing and jumpstarts its circulation. A newborn giraffe typically weighs around 100 to 150 pounds and stands about 6 feet tall. Almost immediately after birth, the calf begins attempting to stand, usually succeeding within an hour. This rapid mobility is essential for survival, as predators such as lions, hyenas, and leopards pose a significant threat to vulnerable young giraffes. Within a few hours, the calf begins nursing from its mother, receiving the vital nutrients found in her milk that help strengthen its immune system and promote growth. The early days of a giraffe's life are critical. During this time, the mother keeps a close watch over her calf, often keeping it hidden in tall grass to reduce the risk of predation. The bond between mother and calf is strong, with the calf relying on its mother for warmth, nourishment, and protection. However, giraffes live in groups known as towers, and within these groups, other females may also help protect the young, creating a form of communal care that increases the calf's chances of survival. As the calf grows, it enters the juvenile stage, which lasts until it reaches sexual maturity. This stage is characterized by rapid growth, with young giraffes gaining height quickly. Within their first year, calves can grow up to 10 feet tall. Their legs and necks continue to elongate, allowing them to reach higher branches for feeding. During this time, they transition from relying solely on their mother's milk to incorporating solid food, primarily leaves from acacia trees and other vegetation. By the time they are around 4 months old, they begin nibbling on leaves, gradually increasing their intake of solid food while still nursing occasionally. Juvenile giraffes also begin socializing more with other young giraffes, forming groups known as nursery herds. These herds allow calves to interact, play, and learn essential survival skills in a relatively safe environment. Through play, young giraffes practice running, jumping, and engaging in mock fights using their necks, a behavior known as necking. This play fighting is particularly important for young males, as it prepares them for the dominance battles they will face in adulthood. As they approach maturity, giraffes continue developing their survival skills, learning how to navigate their environment and avoid predators. One of the most crucial skills they acquire is how to detect danger. Giraffes have excellent vision, allowing them to spot predators from great distances. They also learn to recognize warning signals from other animals, such as zebras or antelopes, which share their habitat and often act as early warning systems for potential threats. Another key aspect of their development is learning how to use their powerful legs for self-defense. A well-placed kick from an adult giraffe can be fatal to a lion, and even young giraffes must develop the ability to defend themselves if necessary. While their primary strategy is to flee from danger, they are capable of delivering strong kicks when cornered. As they transition into adulthood, giraffes begin to establish their place within the herd. Female giraffes typically stay with their birth group, continuing to live in social herds, while males gradually become more solitary or form loose bachelor groups. By the time they reach around 4 to 5 years of age, they are considered fully mature. Males begin competing for dominance through necking battles, where they swing their heads and necks at each other in an effort to establish superiority. The winners of these contests gain access to mating opportunities, ensuring the strongest genes are passed down to the next generation. Throughout their lives, giraffes continue to refine their survival skills, learning how to find the best feeding areas, avoid predators, and interact with others in their social structures. Their long necks give them a unique advantage, allowing them to reach food sources that other herbivores cannot access. They also develop a keen sense of when to move between feeding grounds, adapting to seasonal changes and the availability of vegetation. Giraffes rely on a combination of instinct and learned behavior to survive in the wild. While they are born with some natural abilities, such as the ability to stand and walk shortly after birth, much of their knowledge comes from observing their mothers and other members of their herd. They learn which plants are safe to eat, how to find water sources, and how to react to potential threats. In addition to their physical growth and survival skills, giraffes also develop strong social bonds. Although they are not as tightly structured as some animal groups, they recognize and interact with familiar individuals over time. This social learning helps them navigate their environment and form relationships that contribute to their safety and well-being. By the time a giraffe reaches full adulthood, it is well equipped to handle the challenges of life in the wild. Females typically give birth to their first calves between 4 and 6 years of age, continuing the cycle of life for the species. Males, after proving their strength in battles for dominance, gain the opportunity to mate and pass on their genes. Overall, the early life and development of a giraffe are marked by rapid growth, social learning, and the acquisition of essential survival skills. From birth to adulthood, these remarkable creatures adapt to their environment, forming the behaviors and physical attributes necessary to thrive in the African wilderness. Their ability to learn from their mothers, their peers, and their surroundings ensures their survival in a world full of challenges, making them one of nature's most fascinating and resilient species. Now let's talk about their habitat and distribution. Giraffes, the tallest land animals on Earth, inhabit a variety of ecosystems across Africa. Their unique adaptations allow them to thrive in specific environments where they can find enough food, water, and shelter while avoiding predators. Understanding their habitat and distribution provides insight into how these gentle giants survive in the wild and how their movements and behaviors are shaped by the landscape around them. Giraffes are native to Africa and are primarily found in savannas, open woodlands, and grasslands. Unlike animals that inhabit dense forests, deserts, or aquatic environments, giraffes require landscapes with a mix of trees and open space to accommodate their unique feeding and movement habits. They rely on scattered trees, particularly acacia species, for their primary food source, leaves, twigs, and flowers. These trees not only provide sustenance but also serve as shelter and protection against predators. The savanna and woodland regions of Africa provide the ideal conditions for giraffes to thrive. These environments offer the right balance of vegetation, water sources, and visibility to detect predators. Giraffes prefer areas where trees are spaced apart rather than dense forests, as their tall stature requires them to move freely between feeding sites. Their long legs and necks give them an advantage in reaching leaves that other herbivores cannot access, reducing competition for food. Although giraffes are not found in true deserts, they do inhabit semi-arid regions where vegetation is still available. Some giraffe populations are known to live in dry areas with scattered trees, where they have adapted to survive with minimal water. Unlike many mammals, giraffes can go for extended periods without drinking because they obtain moisture from the leaves they consume. This adaptation allows them to persist in environments where water is scarce. Giraffes thrive in warm climates and are primarily found in regions with temperatures that remain relatively high throughout the year. They are well adapted to withstand the heat of the African sun, thanks to their light-colored coats, which reflect sunlight, and their ability to regulate body temperature through their large surface area. Their long legs help elevate their bodies away from the hot ground, reducing heat absorption. While they can survive in dry areas, giraffes still require access to food sources that provide the necessary nutrients for their survival. They tend to prefer regions with seasonal rainfall, as these areas promote the growth of vegetation. During the wet season, giraffes take advantage of the abundance of fresh leaves, which provide ample nutrition. In the dry season, they must rely on tougher, less nutritious plant material, which can make survival more challenging. Giraffes are found in various countries across Africa, but their distribution is not uniform. Different species and subspecies occupy distinct regions, with some populations being more fragmented than others. Historically, giraffes ranged across much of sub-Saharan Africa, but habitat loss and human activities have reduced their distribution in recent years. There are several recognized species and subspecies of giraffes, each with its own geographical range. For example, Maasai giraffes *** are primarily found in Kenya and Tanzania, roaming the savannas and open woodlands of East Africa. Reticulated giraffes ** inhabit northern Kenya, Somalia, and parts of Ethiopia, recognized for their striking, well-defined coat patterns. Southern giraffes ** are distributed across Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, and Zimbabwe, often found in protected reserves and national parks. Northern giraffes **, which include subspecies such as the Kordofan and West African giraffes, are found in Central and West Africa but have smaller, more isolated populations due to habitat fragmentation. Although giraffes do not follow long-distance migration patterns like some other African herbivores, they do exhibit seasonal movements based on food availability. Their movements are generally dictated by the changing seasons and the distribution of vegetation and water sources. During the wet season, when food is abundant, giraffes may remain in a relatively small area with plenty of trees and fresh leaves. However, as the dry season progresses and vegetation becomes scarce, they are forced to move to new locations in search of food. These movements are typically not long-distance migrations but rather shifts within their home ranges to areas with more resources. Home ranges can vary in size depending on the availability of food and water. Some giraffes have relatively small home ranges, especially if they live in areas with consistent food supplies. Others, particularly those in drier regions, may cover larger areas to find enough sustenance. Giraffes are not territorial animals, meaning they do not defend specific areas as some species do. Instead, their movements are fluid, and individuals may come and go from different areas depending on resource availability. While they do not migrate in large herds like wildebeests or zebras, they often travel in loose groups, with individuals moving together in search of food. The presence of water sources can also influence giraffe movements. While they can go for days or even weeks without drinking, they do prefer to stay within reach of water when possible. Some giraffes may travel to rivers or waterholes periodically, especially during the dry season when alternative moisture sources are limited. Despite their adaptability, giraffes face significant challenges due to habitat loss, human encroachment, and climate change. Deforestation, agricultural expansion, and urban development have reduced the amount of suitable habitat available for giraffes, leading to population declines in some regions. Fragmentation of their habitat makes it more difficult for giraffes to move freely and find enough food, increasing their vulnerability. Conservation efforts are underway to protect giraffe populations and their habitats. National parks, wildlife reserves, and conservation areas play a crucial role in ensuring that giraffes have safe spaces to roam. Organizations dedicated to giraffe conservation work to monitor populations, protect critical habitats, and raise awareness about the threats facing these iconic animals. One of the challenges in giraffe conservation is the lack of continuous habitat connectivity. Because giraffes do not migrate in the same way as some other large herbivores, maintaining protected corridors between different regions is essential for their survival. Ensuring that giraffes can move freely between feeding and breeding areas without human interference is a key goal of conservationists. Another important aspect of giraffe conservation is addressing poaching and human-wildlife conflict. In some regions, giraffes are hunted for their meat, hides, or body parts, contributing to population declines. Efforts to reduce illegal hunting and promote coexistence between humans and giraffes are crucial for their long-term survival. As climate change continues to impact ecosystems, giraffes may face additional challenges related to changing rainfall patterns and food availability. Conservationists are studying how climate shifts affect giraffe movements and habitat preferences, with the goal of developing strategies to protect them in an evolving environment. In summary, giraffes inhabit a range of ecosystems across Africa, primarily favoring savannas, open woodlands, and semi-arid regions with scattered trees. Their distribution is shaped by food availability, climate conditions, and water sources, with different species and subspecies occupying distinct geographic regions. While they do not undertake long-distance migrations, they move within their home ranges in response to seasonal changes and resource availability. Conservation efforts are essential to protect giraffes from habitat loss, human activities, and climate change. By preserving their natural habitats and ensuring they have safe spaces to roam, we can help safeguard the future of these magnificent animals. Giraffes play a vital role in their ecosystems, and their survival depends on maintaining the delicate balance of their environment. Giraffe physical characteristics and adaptation. Giraffes are one of the most unique and recognizable animals in the world. Their extraordinary physical characteristics and specialized adaptations allow them to thrive in the African savannas and woodlands where they live. From their towering height to their distinct coat patterns, every feature of the giraffe has evolved to help it survive in its environment. These adaptations not only allow giraffes to access food sources unavailable to other animals but also protect them from predators and environmental challenges. Giraffes are the tallest land mammals on Earth, with adult males, called bulls, reaching heights of up to 18 feet, while females, or cows, are slightly shorter, usually growing to around 14 to 16 feet. Their incredible height gives them a significant advantage, allowing them to reach leaves and vegetation high up in trees, where few other herbivores can feed. Despite their long legs and necks, giraffes have relatively short bodies compared to their height, with a sturdy and well-balanced frame that supports their towering structure. Their legs are exceptionally long and powerful, with the front legs appearing slightly longer than the hind legs, though this is mostly due to the sloping shape of their shoulders. These long legs enable giraffes to cover great distances efficiently, as they can walk at a steady pace and reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour when running. Their long stride helps them move quickly when escaping from predators, and they can also deliver powerful kicks capable of injuring or even killing a lion. One of the most striking features of a giraffe is its neck, which can be up to 6 feet long. Despite its length, a giraffe's neck contains only 7 vertebrae, the same number as most mammals, including humans. However, each vertebra is elongated, contributing to the giraffe's remarkable height. The long neck is crucial for feeding, allowing giraffes to reach the high branches of trees, particularly their preferred food source, the leaves of acacia trees. This adaptation reduces competition for food, as most other herbivores are unable to reach such heights. Giraffes also use their long necks for social interactions and dominance battles, particularly among males. These necking contests involve two males swinging their heads and striking each other in an attempt to establish dominance. The stronger male often wins mating rights, ensuring that the best genes are passed on to the next generation. A giraffe's coat is another distinctive characteristic, covered in a pattern of irregularly shaped patches that vary in color from orange and brown to reddish or black, separated by lighter tan or white spaces. Each giraffe has a unique coat pattern, similar to a human fingerprint. These markings serve as a form of camouflage, helping them blend into their environment by breaking up their body outline in the dappled light of trees and bushes. This natural camouflage makes it more difficult for predators like lions and hyenas to spot them from a distance. The giraffe's fur is relatively short but contains special properties that help regulate body temperature. Giraffes live in hot climates, and their coat has a system of blood vessels beneath the skin that aids in heat dissipation. They can control blood flow to different parts of their body, allowing them to release excess heat through the large patches on their skin. This thermoregulation mechanism helps them stay cool in the intense African sun. Beneath their patterned coat, giraffes have thick skin that provides some protection against thorns and insect bites. Their skin secretes an antiseptic substance that has a strong odor, sometimes described as smelling like a combination of herbs and soil. This secretion helps prevent infections from cuts or scratches they may get while feeding among thorny branches. Another important adaptation is the giraffe's tongue, which is an impressive tool for feeding. It is about 18 to 20 inches long and is prehensile, meaning it can grasp and manipulate objects like a hand. The tongue is also incredibly tough and covered in a thick layer of papillae, protecting it from the sharp thorns of acacia trees. Its dark purplish or bluish color helps prevent sunburn, which is especially useful since giraffes often spend long hours foraging in direct sunlight. Giraffes have large, forward-facing eyes positioned high on their heads, giving them excellent vision. This adaptation allows them to detect predators from a great distance. Their wide field of vision helps them stay alert, and their height gives them an advantage, as they can see over tall grasses and bushes. Giraffes also have long eyelashes that help protect their eyes from dust, debris, and insects, which are common in their dry habitats. In addition to their keen eyesight, giraffes have excellent hearing and a strong sense of smell. These senses help them stay aware of potential threats in their surroundings. If one giraffe detects danger, it will often freeze and stare in the direction of the threat, alerting others in the area to be cautious. This silent communication method helps them avoid drawing unnecessary attention from predators. One of the giraffe's most remarkable adaptations is its cardiovascular system, which has evolved to accommodate its extreme height. Since a giraffe's head is so far above its heart, it needs a powerful circulatory system to pump blood to the brain. The giraffe's heart is one of the largest and most powerful of any land animal, weighing around 25 pounds and generating twice the blood pressure of a typical mammal to ensure that oxygen reaches the brain efficiently. To prevent blood from rushing to the head when they lower their necks to drink water, giraffes have specialized valves in their veins that regulate blood flow. These valves, along with elastic-walled arteries, prevent sudden changes in blood pressure, preventing dizziness or fainting. This adaptation allows them to safely lower and raise their heads without complications. Despite their height, giraffes are vulnerable when drinking water. Since their long legs make it difficult to bend down, they must spread their front legs wide or kneel to reach the water. This position leaves them exposed to predators, so they are always on high alert when drinking. Giraffes typically rely on the moisture in leaves for hydration and only drink water occasionally, reducing the need to put themselves at risk. Another unique feature of giraffes is the ossicones, horn-like structures on the tops of their heads. These ossicones are covered in skin and fur and are present at birth as soft cartilage that later hardens into bone. Males tend to have thicker ossicones, which they use during necking battles for dominance. Giraffes have adapted to their environment in ways that make them highly efficient at surviving in the wild. Their combination of height, camouflage, excellent senses, and specialized feeding adaptations allows them to thrive in the African savannas where they live. Their unique cardiovascular system, strong legs, and long tongues give them advantages that few other animals possess. Each of these physical traits serves a purpose in helping giraffes find food, avoid predators, and navigate their surroundings. These adaptations have allowed giraffes to remain one of Africa's most iconic and resilient species, perfectly suited to their environment despite the challenges they face. Let's talk about their diet and hunting. Giraffes are herbivorous animals that rely exclusively on plant-based food sources for their survival. Their diet consists primarily of leaves, flowers, fruits, and twigs from trees and shrubs, with a particular preference for acacia trees. Due to their towering height and long necks, giraffes can reach vegetation that is inaccessible to most other herbivores, giving them a significant advantage when foraging for food. Their ability to browse at heights of up to 18 feet allows them to consume nutrient-rich leaves without much competition from other animals. Giraffes have a specialized feeding technique that enables them to efficiently strip leaves from branches. Their long, prehensile tongues, which can extend up to 20 inches, play a crucial role in grasping and pulling leaves from thorny branches. The tongue is covered in tough papillae, which protect it from injury while navigating the sharp thorns of acacia trees. Additionally, their thick, leathery lips and strong jaws help them chew fibrous plant material without sustaining damage. Since giraffes primarily consume leaves and twigs, they rely on their multi-chambered stomachs to break down the tough plant fibers. Like other ruminants such as cows and deer, giraffes have a complex digestive system that allows them to regurgitate and rechew their food in a process called rumination. This enables them to extract the maximum amount of nutrients from their diet. Although acacia leaves are their preferred food source, giraffes will also eat the leaves of other tree species, including mimosa, wild apricot, and combretum. During the wet season, when food is abundant, they have access to fresh, lush leaves, which provide ample nutrition and hydration. In contrast, during the dry season, when foliage becomes scarce, they may consume bark, dried leaves, and seed pods to sustain themselves. Giraffes can go for long periods without drinking water, as they obtain most of their hydration from the moisture content of the leaves they eat. However, when water sources are available, they will drink by spreading their front legs wide and lowering their necks to reach the surface. This position is vulnerable to predator attacks, so giraffes are extremely cautious when drinking and often rely on others in their group to keep watch for potential threats. Unlike carnivorous animals that actively hunt for prey, giraffes do not engage in hunting or predatory behaviors. Instead, they spend much of their day browsing for food, using their height to access treetops that other herbivores cannot reach. Their feeding pattern is largely solitary or conducted in loose social groups, where individuals may feed in the same area without competing aggressively for resources. A giraffe's daily routine revolves around foraging, as they consume an average of 60 to 75 pounds of leaves per day to meet their energy needs. They typically spend 16 to 20 hours a day feeding, using their long tongues to strip leaves quickly and efficiently. Giraffes are most active during the early morning and late afternoon when temperatures are cooler, reducing the risk of overheating under the intense African sun. While giraffes do not engage in traditional hunting behaviors, they must constantly be on alert for predators. As large herbivores, giraffes face threats from a variety of carnivorous animals, particularly during their more vulnerable life stages. Young calves are at the highest risk, as they lack the strength and size to defend themselves against predators. Lions are the primary natural predators of giraffes, and they typically target young, weak, or sick individuals. A pride of lions may work together to take down an adult giraffe, but this is a risky endeavor due to the giraffe's formidable defenses. Leopards, hyenas, and African wild dogs may also prey on young or injured giraffes, particularly when they are separated from the safety of the herd. Despite their size, giraffes have developed several defense mechanisms to protect themselves from predators. Their height and excellent vision give them a wide field of view, allowing them to detect approaching threats from a distance. Giraffes often rely on their keen eyesight to remain vigilant, and they will stare in the direction of a predator for extended periods to assess the danger. If one giraffe spots a predator, others in the group will take notice and may move away from the area. When confronted by a predator, giraffes can use their powerful legs to defend themselves. A single kick from a giraffe can be strong enough to break the skull or bones of a lion, making them formidable opponents. Their sharp hooves, measuring up to 12 inches in diameter, can inflict serious injuries on attacking predators. Due to this powerful defense, most predators prefer to target young or weakened giraffes rather than fully grown adults. Newborn giraffes are particularly vulnerable to predation. Within their first few weeks of life, they rely heavily on their mothers for protection. A mother giraffe will often position herself between her calf and potential threats, using her long legs to ward off attackers. Despite this protection, an estimated 50% of giraffe calves do not survive their first year due to predation. The predator-prey relationship between giraffes and carnivorous animals plays a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance. While predators regulate giraffe populations by targeting the young and weak, giraffes contribute to their environment by shaping vegetation through their feeding habits. Their browsing behavior helps control the growth of trees and shrubs, influencing the structure of the ecosystem and providing open spaces for other animals. In addition to natural predators, giraffes also face threats from human activities. Poaching and illegal hunting pose significant dangers to giraffe populations, as they are often targeted for their meat, hides, and tails. In some regions, giraffe body parts are used for cultural or medicinal purposes, further endangering their numbers. Habitat loss due to deforestation, agricultural expansion, and human settlement has also led to a decline in giraffe populations. As their natural habitat becomes fragmented, giraffes are forced to travel longer distances to find food and water, increasing their vulnerability to predators and human-related dangers. Conservation efforts are being implemented to protect giraffes from these threats. National parks and wildlife reserves provide safe habitats where giraffes can thrive without the pressures of poaching and habitat destruction. Organizations dedicated to giraffe conservation work to raise awareness, conduct research, and implement protective measures to ensure the survival of these iconic animals. By understanding the diet and predator-prey dynamics of giraffes, we can appreciate their role in the ecosystem and the challenges they face in the wild. Their adaptations for feeding, vigilance against predators, and defensive strategies highlight their resilience as a species. However, human intervention is crucial to preserving their populations for future generations. Through conservation initiatives and habitat protection, we can help ensure that giraffes continue to roam the African landscape for years to come. Let's moving on to the social structure and behavior of giraffe. Giraffes, the tallest land animals on Earth, exhibit a fascinating social structure and complex behaviors that contribute to their survival in the African savannas. While they are often perceived as solitary creatures due to their calm and slow movements, giraffes have a dynamic social organization that varies depending on factors such as age, gender, and environmental conditions. Their interactions, communication methods, and relationships with other animals reveal the intricate nature of their existence in the wild. Giraffes are known to form loose, open social groups known as herds. Unlike species that have rigid, structured packs, such as wolves or lions, giraffe herds are flexible and fluid, with members frequently joining and leaving the group. These herds usually consist of 10 to 20 individuals, though larger aggregations can occur in regions with abundant resources. Herd composition changes frequently, but adult females and their offspring tend to form the most stable groups. These maternal herds provide a sense of security for calves, as multiple mothers can collectively watch over and protect the young from predators. Male giraffes, particularly mature ones, often adopt a more independent lifestyle. Young males may form bachelor groups, engaging in frequent sparring matches that help them establish dominance and social rank. These interactions often involve necking, a behavior where males swing their long necks and heads at each other in displays of strength. Necking can range from gentle sparring to aggressive battles, with the winner gaining greater access to mating opportunities. While these battles can sometimes lead to injuries, they rarely result in fatal outcomes. The hierarchy among male giraffes is determined through these necking contests. The strongest males earn the right to mate with receptive females, leading to a competitive but structured reproductive strategy. Dominant males do not establish permanent territories but instead roam over large areas in search of breeding opportunities. This nomadic behavior ensures genetic diversity among giraffe populations and helps prevent inbreeding. Communication among giraffes is subtle yet effective. Unlike some animals that rely on loud vocalizations, giraffes primarily use body language and low-frequency sounds that are often imperceptible to the human ear. They produce infrasonic vocalizations, deep sounds that travel long distances, allowing them to communicate with herd members even when separated. These low-frequency sounds are especially useful at night when visibility is low. In addition to infrasound, giraffes emit a variety of audible noises, including snorts, grunts, hisses, and moans. Snorting is commonly used as an alarm signal when a potential threat is detected. Mothers communicate with their calves using soft bleats and humming noises, fostering a strong bond between them. Some research suggests that giraffes hum at night, possibly as a means of maintaining social cohesion or reassuring each other while resting. Nonverbal communication plays a crucial role in giraffe interactions. They use body posture, head movements, and eye contact to convey messages. A dominant male might stretch his neck high to assert authority, while a submissive giraffe may lower its head and avoid direct eye contact. Flicking the tail can indicate irritation or the presence of insects, whereas licking and gentle nudging are common gestures of affection between mothers and their calves. Giraffes interact with a wide range of other animals in their environment. As peaceful herbivores, they generally coexist harmoniously with other species. Their towering height and excellent vision allow them to act as sentinels, detecting predators from a distance and inadvertently warning other herbivores, such as zebras, antelopes, and wildebeests, of potential danger. Many smaller animals benefit from the giraffe's vigilance, using their heightened awareness to escape predators before they become targets. Despite their gentle nature, giraffes are not defenseless against threats. When confronted by predators like lions, hyenas, or leopards, a giraffe can deliver powerful kicks with its long legs, capable of breaking bones or even killing an attacker. Calves are particularly vulnerable, and lion prides often target them. However, the presence of protective mothers and vigilant herd members increases the young giraffe's chances of survival. Birds, particularly oxpeckers, form a mutualistic relationship with giraffes by feeding on ticks and parasites that inhabit their fur. These birds also serve as an early warning system, alerting giraffes to potential dangers by fluttering or making alarm calls when a predator approaches. This symbiotic relationship benefits both species, as the birds receive a constant food source while the giraffes enjoy parasite control and heightened awareness of their surroundings. Giraffes play a crucial role in their ecosystem by shaping vegetation. As browsers, they primarily feed on acacia leaves and other high-growing foliage, using their long tongues and prehensile lips to strip leaves from thorny branches. Their feeding habits help control tree growth and create open spaces that benefit other herbivores. This ecological role is vital in maintaining a balanced savanna environment. During the dry season, giraffes may congregate around water sources, leading to increased interactions with various other animals. Elephants, zebras, and antelopes often share these watering holes, and while there is generally little direct competition between species, tensions can arise when resources become scarce. Despite their towering stature, giraffes remain cautious when drinking water, as they must spread their legs and lower their necks, making them vulnerable to predators during this process. Human activities have increasingly impacted giraffe social structures and behaviors. Habitat fragmentation, poaching, and climate change have led to declining populations, forcing giraffes to adapt to new challenges. Conservation efforts aim to protect these majestic animals and their natural habitats, ensuring that their complex social dynamics and ecological contributions continue to thrive. In summary, giraffes exhibit a unique and flexible social structure characterized by loosely connected herds and independent males. Their communication methods, including infrasonic sounds, body language, and subtle vocalizations, allow them to maintain social bonds and navigate their environment effectively. Their interactions with other animals, from mutualistic relationships with birds to alerting herbivores of danger, highlight their integral role in the ecosystem. Understanding these behaviors not only deepens our appreciation for giraffes but also emphasizes the importance of preserving their natural habitats for future generations. Reproduction and cubs of giraffe. Giraffes have a unique reproductive cycle and parenting behavior that ensures the survival of their offspring in the harsh African wilderness. Their mating habits, gestation period, and the challenges faced by newborns all play a crucial role in maintaining giraffe populations. While these towering herbivores may seem gentle, their reproductive strategies involve complex social dynamics, competition among males, and a demanding early life for their young. Giraffes do not have a specific breeding season, and mating can occur at any time of the year. However, mating is often influenced by environmental conditions, such as the availability of food and water. Males, known as bulls, must compete for the right to mate with females, known as cows. The competition involves a ritual known as necking, where two males stand side by side and swing their long necks at each other, striking with their ossicones, horn-like structures on their heads. These battles can be fierce, with powerful blows that may knock an opponent off balance. The strongest male, who wins the contest, earns the right to mate with receptive females. Once a dominant male establishes his position, he identifies a female in estrus, heat, by using a flame in response, curling his upper lip and testing the female's urine to determine her fertility. If the female is ready to mate, the male will court her by following her closely and attempting to mount her. Unlike some species where males form long-term bonds with females, giraffes have a polygynous mating system, meaning that a single male may mate with multiple females. After successful mating, the female undergoes a remarkably long gestation period of about 15 months. This extended pregnancy ensures that the calf is born well-developed and capable of standing and walking shortly after birth. The female gives birth while standing, and the calf enters the world by dropping from a height of about 6 feet. This fall may seem harsh, but it serves a critical purpose, helping to break the amniotic sac and stimulate the newborn's breathing. At birth, a giraffe calf typically weighs 100 to 150 pounds and stands about 5 to 6 feet tall. Within just 30 to 60 minutes, the newborn is able to stand on its wobbly legs and begin walking, a crucial ability for escaping predators. This rapid development is essential for survival, as young giraffes are highly vulnerable in the wild. Mother giraffes are extremely protective of their calves. After birth, the mother cleans her newborn by licking it, strengthening their bond. For the first few weeks, the calf stays close to its mother, relying on her for both protection and nourishment. The calf feeds on its mother's nutrient-rich milk, which helps build its immune system and promote early growth. In the wild, giraffes often use a form of childcare known as a calving ground or nursery herd, where multiple mothers leave their young in a loosely structured nursery, while they go off to forage. A few adult females stay behind to watch over the calves, ensuring they are not left completely vulnerable. This communal caregiving system increases the survival chances of the young, as it allows mothers to feed without constant interruption. Despite the mother's efforts, the survival rate of giraffe calves is quite low. About 50% of newborn giraffes do not survive their first year due to predation. Lions, hyenas, leopards, and wild dogs are the primary threats to young giraffes, with predators targeting calves that are left unattended or straying too far from their mothers. A mother giraffe's primary defense mechanism is her powerful kick. With strong, long legs, she can deliver a forceful kick that is capable of killing a lion with a single strike. Because of this, predators often hesitate to attack young giraffes when their mothers are nearby. However, if a calf is separated from the herd, its chances of survival decrease significantly. Giraffes grow rapidly during their first year, gaining about 3 feet in height within the first 6 months. By the time they are 1 year old, they are about 10 feet tall and have developed a stronger ability to evade predators. Despite their increasing size, young giraffes continue to rely on their mothers for protection and guidance until they are about 15 to 18 months old. At around 2 years of age, young males begin to leave their mothers and join bachelor herds, where they engage in social interactions and practice necking behaviors. This stage of development prepares them for adulthood, where they will eventually compete for mating rights. Female giraffes, on the other hand, may stay with their mothers' herds or move to other social groups. By the time giraffes reach 4 to 5 years old, they are considered fully grown. Males continue to grow larger and stronger, often reaching up to 18 feet in height, while females typically stop growing at around 16 feet. At this stage, they are ready to reproduce, continuing the cycle of life in the savanna. The reproductive process and early life of giraffes highlight both the beauty and challenges of nature. Despite the high mortality rate of calves, the species has developed remarkable adaptations to enhance survival. From the protective instincts of mothers to the social structures that support young giraffes, these gentle giants rely on both strength and strategy to ensure the continuation of their species. As human activities increasingly threaten giraffe populations through habitat destruction and poaching, conservation efforts have become essential in preserving these magnificent creatures. By protecting their natural habitats and implementing anti-poaching measures, we can help ensure that future generations of giraffes continue to thrive in the wild. Challenges and conservation efforts on giraffe. Giraffes, the world's tallest land mammals, are facing increasing threats that put their survival at risk. Once widespread across Africa, their populations have been steadily declining due to a combination of habitat loss, poaching, climate change, and human encroachment. While they may not receive as much attention as other endangered species like elephants or rhinos, giraffes are quietly experiencing what some conservationists call a silent extinction. Conservation efforts are now more crucial than ever to ensure that these gentle giants continue to thrive in the wild. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, classifies giraffes as vulnerable, with some subspecies listed as critically endangered. Over the past 3 decades, giraffe populations have declined by nearly 40%, dropping from an estimated 155,000 individuals in the 1980s to fewer than 100,000 today. This sharp decline has prompted conservationists to push for greater awareness and protective measures. Giraffes are divided into 4 distinct species: the northern giraffe, southern giraffe, Maasai giraffe, and reticulated giraffe, each with its own subspecies. Some populations, such as the Kordofan giraffe and Nubian giraffe, have seen their numbers dwindle to just a few hundred individuals in the wild, placing them at critical risk of extinction. Several key factors contribute to the decline of giraffe populations, with human activities playing the largest role. As human populations grow, giraffes lose their natural habitats to agriculture, urbanization, and infrastructure development. Expanding farmland, logging, and road construction have led to the destruction of the woodlands and savannas where giraffes once thrived. Habitat fragmentation is another major concern. Once continuous habitats have been divided by roads, fences, and settlements, making it difficult for giraffes to move freely in search of food, mates, and water sources. As a result, giraffe populations become isolated, leading to a lack of genetic diversity and making them more vulnerable to disease and environmental changes. While giraffes are not typically targeted as aggressively as elephants or rhinos, poaching remains a significant threat in certain regions. In parts of Central and East Africa, giraffes are hunted for their meat, bones, and hides. Some cultures believe that giraffe bone marrow and brain tissue have medicinal properties, leading to illegal killings. Additionally, in areas experiencing civil unrest, giraffes are often hunted for bushmeat by local communities facing food shortages. Without strict enforcement of anti-poaching laws, these killings continue to reduce giraffe populations. Climate change has had a profound impact on giraffes by altering their habitats and food availability. Increased temperatures, prolonged droughts, and unpredictable rainfall patterns make it more difficult for giraffes to find the acacia trees and other vegetation they rely on for food. Droughts also force giraffes to travel longer distances in search of water, increasing their exposure to predators and human conflict. In some areas, as water sources dry up, giraffes are forced to compete with livestock for limited resources, further threatening their survival. As human populations expand into giraffe habitats, conflicts between people and giraffes become more common. Farmers often view giraffes as a nuisance because they trample crops and compete with livestock for grazing areas. In retaliation, some landowners resort to killing giraffes to protect their agricultural investments. Additionally, road accidents involving giraffes have become more frequent as highways cut through their natural range. Since giraffes are slow-moving animals, they are often hit by vehicles, leading to injuries and fatalities. Unlike elephants, lions, or rhinos, giraffes have not traditionally been a flagship species for conservation efforts. As a result, there has been less funding and fewer dedicated programs for their protection. Many people are unaware of the dramatic decline in giraffe populations, which limits global conservation efforts. In response to these growing threats, conservation organizations, governments, and local communities have implemented several initiatives to protect giraffes and their habitats. One of the most effective ways to protect giraffes is by preserving their natural habitats through the establishment of national parks, wildlife reserves, and protected areas. Some of the most important giraffe conservation sites include Serengeti National Park in Tanzania, Kruger National Park in South Africa, Murchison Falls National Park in Uganda, and Etosha National Park in Namibia. These protected areas help reduce habitat destruction and provide a safe environment where giraffes can live without human interference. To combat poaching, governments and conservation groups have increased efforts to enforce anti-poaching laws, train rangers, and implement community-led conservation programs. Organizations like the Giraffe Conservation Foundation and the African Wildlife Foundation have worked closely with local communities to educate them about the importance of giraffes and provide alternative livelihood options to reduce reliance on illegal hunting. Advanced technology, such as GPS tracking collars, drones, and camera traps, is also being used to monitor giraffe movements and detect poaching activities in real time. Many conservationists recognize that engaging local communities is key to protecting giraffes. Programs that involve ecotourism, sustainable farming practices, and education initiatives help local people understand the value of giraffes and encourage them to become active participants in conservation. For example, in Niger, the successful giraffe conservation program has helped local communities protect the last remaining wild population of West African giraffes by promoting ecotourism, which provides income for local villagers while preserving giraffe habitats. Zoos and wildlife sanctuaries have played a role in giraffe conservation by participating in breeding programs aimed at increasing population numbers. Some organizations have successfully reintroduced giraffes into areas where they had previously disappeared. For instance, in Uganda, the Uganda Wildlife Authority worked with conservationists to reintroduce Rothschild's giraffes to their former habitats in Murchison Falls National Park. These efforts have helped boost local populations and restore ecological balance. In recent years, giraffe conservation has gained more global attention. In 2019, giraffes were listed under CITES Appendix 2, which regulates the international trade of giraffe parts to prevent illegal hunting. Organizations such as the Giraffe Conservation Foundation, World Wildlife Fund, and Save the Giraffes have launched public awareness campaigns to educate people about giraffe conservation and encourage action. Social media, documentaries, and educational programs have also played a role in spreading awareness about the plight of giraffes. By increasing public knowledge, conservationists hope to drive more funding and policy changes to protect these animals. While the threats facing giraffes are serious, there is hope for their future. Conservation efforts have already shown positive results in some areas, with certain populations stabilizing or increasing. However, more work is needed to expand protected areas, strengthen anti-poaching measures, and increase global awareness. By supporting conservation organizations, promoting sustainable development, and enforcing stricter wildlife protection laws, it is possible to ensure that future generations will continue to witness the beauty and majesty of giraffes in the wild. Symbolism and cultural significance of giraffe. Giraffes have fascinated humans for centuries, inspiring cultural symbolism, myths, and spiritual meanings across different societies. Their unique appearance, towering height, and gentle nature have made them a subject of admiration, curiosity, and deep cultural significance in various traditions and belief systems. From African folklore to modern symbolism, the giraffe has been viewed as a symbol of grace, vision, wisdom, and connection between the earthly and spiritual realms. In African cultures, where giraffes are native, they hold special significance in folklore and traditional beliefs. Many African tribes consider the giraffe a symbol of intuition, foresight, and communication due to its long neck, which allows it to see far and survey the landscape for danger. The giraffe's ability to move gracefully despite its size is also associated with balance, patience, and dignity. Some African myths portray the giraffe as a messenger of the gods, capable of delivering wisdom from the heavens due to its towering stature. Certain tribes believe that giraffes possess a deep connection to nature and use them as symbols of harmony between the land and the sky. Among the San people of southern Africa, giraffes appear in ancient rock paintings and stories as sacred animals. They believe that the giraffe's patterns resemble the stars and that the animal serves as a guide in spiritual journeys. Some traditional healers use giraffe symbolism in their rituals, believing that invoking the spirit of the giraffe can bring clarity and insight. The giraffe has also found a place in the mythology of various indigenous groups. In some East African tales, the giraffe is depicted as a wise and kind creature that helps guide lost travelers. Others see it as a bringer of rain, linking it to agricultural fertility and abundance. Some African tribes tell stories of how the giraffe got its long neck. One legend suggests that the giraffe once had a short neck but was granted an elongated one by the gods so it could reach high branches and survive droughts. Another version describes the giraffe stretching its neck over time to reach the heavens, symbolizing a quest for knowledge and enlightenment. In ancient Egyptian culture, giraffes were known as serpents of the earth, due to their long, flexible necks. They were sometimes associated with divine foresight and wisdom. Depictions of giraffes have been found in Egyptian art, showing that they held a special place in the civilization's understanding of the natural world. Some scholars believe that giraffes were even kept as exotic pets by Egyptian rulers, further emphasizing their importance. In Chinese culture, while the giraffe itself was not native to the region, its appearance was linked to the legendary qilin, a mythical creature often described as a gentle, wise, and auspicious being. When giraffes were brought to China from Africa during the Ming dynasty, they were thought to be qilins because of their unusual and elegant features. As a result, they were seen as harbingers of peace and prosperity. In Western culture, the giraffe has been used as a symbol of uniqueness and individuality. Its distinctive appearance and graceful movements have made it a favorite in art, literature, and modern symbolism. Some associate the giraffe with standing tall in the face of adversity, reaching for one's dreams, and having a broad perspective on life. Throughout history, giraffes have also been used in European art and storytelling as symbols of exoticism and wonder. When the first giraffe arrived in Europe in the 15th century as a gift to Lorenzo de' Medici of Florence, it caused great fascination and became a subject of paintings and literature. The giraffe's peaceful nature has led to it being seen as a representation of nonviolence and coexistence. In modern psychology and self-improvement teachings, the giraffe is sometimes used as a metaphor for seeing the bigger picture, leading with grace, and maintaining perspective in difficult situations. In spiritual symbolism, the giraffe is often connected to higher awareness and enlightenment. Many people who believe in animal totems or spirit animals view the giraffe as a guide that helps individuals see beyond immediate obstacles and develop a deeper understanding of life's journey. The giraffe's heart, which is exceptionally large to pump blood up its long neck, is sometimes used as a symbol of emotional strength and resilience. It reminds people to lead with their hearts while also keeping an eye on the future. In some interpretations of dream symbolism, seeing a giraffe represents the need to look at life from a new perspective, to rise above challenges, or to develop greater self-awareness. The giraffe continues to appear in modern culture, from children's books to corporate logos, as a symbol of uniqueness, vision, and inspiration. Many businesses and organizations use the giraffe as an emblem of reaching for new heights, innovation, and leadership. Giraffes have also been widely used in conservation efforts to raise awareness about endangered species. Their gentle and majestic nature makes them effective ambassadors for wildlife protection and environmental sustainability. In African nations where giraffes are native, they continue to be celebrated in festivals, art, and storytelling. Some communities include giraffes in their cultural ceremonies as representations of peace and prosperity. In the media, giraffes are often portrayed as friendly, wise, and sometimes humorous characters in films, cartoons, and advertisements. They are beloved figures in children's entertainment, reinforcing their image as gentle and intelligent creatures. Despite their cultural significance, giraffes have not always received the same level of conservation attention as other African wildlife. However, efforts are increasing to protect these majestic animals while preserving their deep-rooted symbolism in various traditions. The giraffe's symbolism in different cultures showcases its enduring presence in human imagination and storytelling. Whether viewed as a spiritual guide, a symbol of grace, or a representation of wisdom, the giraffe continues to inspire people around the world. Fun and lesser-known facts about giraffe. Giraffes are some of the most fascinating creatures on the planet, known for their long necks, towering height, and gentle nature. While most people recognize them as the tallest land animals, there are many surprising and lesser-known facts about giraffes that make them even more remarkable. From their unique physiology to their quirky behaviors, giraffes have many interesting characteristics that set them apart from other animals. Giraffes can grow up to 18 feet, 5.5 meters, tall, making them the tallest land mammals on Earth. Males, called bulls, are generally taller than females, known as cows. Despite their long necks, which can reach up to 6 feet, 1.8 meters, in length, giraffes still have the same number of neck vertebrae as humans, only 7. However, each vertebra is greatly elongated, allowing them to stretch their necks high into the treetops. A giraffe's tongue is a fascinating adaptation that helps it survive in the wild. Their tongues can reach up to 18 inches, 45 centimeters long, allowing them to grab leaves from tall trees effortlessly. The tongue is also dark purple or bluish-black in color, which helps protect it from sunburn as giraffes spend much of their time feeding in the open under direct sunlight. Despite their long necks, giraffes have relatively short bodies compared to their height. Their legs alone are around 6 feet, 1.8 meters, long, meaning they could easily tower over most humans even without their extended necks. The front legs appear slightly longer than the back legs, giving them their distinctive sloping posture. A giraffe's heart is incredibly powerful because it must pump blood all the way up its long neck to reach the brain. Weighing around 25 pounds, 11 kilograms, their heart is one of the largest of any land animal. It generates about double the blood pressure of a human heart, ensuring proper circulation despite gravity's pull. This unique adaptation helps prevent dizziness when they raise or lower their heads. Unlike most mammals that lie down to sleep, giraffes often sleep standing up to stay alert for predators. They only require about 30 minutes to 2 hours of sleep per day, usually broken into short naps. Sometimes, they will bend their necks backward and rest their heads on their hindquarters, but this position makes them vulnerable to attacks, so they rarely sleep deeply. Giraffes have large eyes positioned on the sides of their heads, giving them an excellent field of vision. Their keen eyesight allows them to spot predators from a great distance, giving them ample time to react. In addition to their sharp vision, giraffes also have excellent hearing and a strong sense of smell, which helps them detect threats in their environment. Giraffes communicate using a variety of sounds, body language, and even infrasound, low-frequency noises that are below the range of human hearing. While they are often thought to be silent animals, they produce grunts, snorts, and hisses to express emotions or alert others to danger. Calves also make bleating sounds when calling for their mothers. Each giraffe has a unique coat pattern, similar to human fingerprints. No two giraffes have the same pattern of spots, which helps them blend into their environment and avoid predators. The spots are not just for camouflage, they also play a role in regulating body temperature. The patches on a giraffe's skin have a complex network of blood vessels beneath them that help release heat and keep the animal cool. Although they appear slow and graceful, giraffes are capable of reaching speeds up to 35 miles per hour, 56 kilometers per hour, in short bursts and can maintain a steady pace of about 10 miles per hour, 16 kilometers per hour, over longer distances. Their long legs allow them to cover great distances quickly, and their unique gait, where both legs on one side of the body move together, helps them conserve energy while moving. Unlike most animals, giraffes give birth while standing up. This means that a newborn calf experiences a 5 to 6 foot, 1.5 to 1.8 meter, drop to the ground upon birth, which helps break the amniotic sac and stimulate breathing. Within an hour of birth, the calf is able to stand and walk, a crucial ability that helps it escape predators. Despite their gentle nature, giraffes can defend themselves when necessary. Their primary weapon is their powerful legs, which can deliver a deadly kick strong enough to kill a lion. Giraffes have been known to successfully fight off predators using their hooves, making them surprisingly formidable when threatened. Male giraffes engage in a unique behavior called necking, where they swing their necks and use their ossicones, horn-like structures, to strike each other. These battles determine dominance and mating rights, with the stronger male earning the opportunity to mate with females. While these fights can look intense, they rarely result in serious injuries. Ossicones are the horn-like structures on a giraffe's head, made of bone and covered in skin. Both males and females have ossicones, but they are more pronounced in males, often growing thicker and more knobby over time due to repeated necking battles. Unlike antlers in deer, ossicones are permanent and do not shed. Giraffes don't need to drink water every day, as they get most of their hydration from the leaves they consume. When they do drink, they must spread their front legs wide apart or bend their knees to lower their heads to reach the water, which puts them in a vulnerable position. Because of this, giraffes often drink in groups, taking turns watching for predators. Despite their large size, giraffes are surprisingly quiet and gentle creatures. They rarely show aggression unless provoked and are known for their peaceful coexistence with other animals. Many species, including zebras and antelopes, benefit from the giraffe's presence because they help detect predators early. Giraffes have fascinated people for centuries and have been depicted in art, folklore, and even royal collections. The first known giraffe to arrive in Europe was gifted to Julius Caesar in ancient Rome, while another famous giraffe was given to the Medici family in Florence during the Renaissance. These exotic animals were often viewed as symbols of wonder and prestige. Giraffes play an important role in their ecosystems by shaping the landscape. As they feed on treetops, they help control plant growth and create open spaces that benefit other animals. Their selective feeding also encourages plant diversity and contributes to a healthy environment. Although giraffes are iconic African animals, their populations have declined in recent decades due to habitat loss, poaching, and climate change. Conservation efforts are underway to protect giraffes, including establishing protected areas, anti-poaching initiatives, and breeding programs. These gentle giants continue to capture the fascination of people worldwide. Their combination of beauty, grace, and unique adaptations make them one of the most extraordinary animals on the planet. If you're enjoying learning new things about this animal, or probably this is your first time knowing this animal, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, comment what you learned so far, and tell us what other animals you would like to see on this channel. Hit the subscribe button for more amazing wildlife documentaries, animal science, and discovery-packed educational content. Thank you, you are very welcome.